Good day. Here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. We start with the second leg of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s visit to Europe. The chief executive arrived in the Czech Republic early Thursday after a three-day working trip to Germany where he met with the country's officials and business leaders. More on this from Marita Muaje.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is now in the Czech Republic for the second half of his working visit to Central Europe. The plane carrying Marcos, First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, and other members of the Philippine delegation arrived in Prague past midnight on Thursday, Manila time. Marcos is set to meet Czech Republic President Petr Pavel and Prime Minister Peter Fiala, as well as Senate President Milos Vystrčil and the Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies, Markéta Pekarová-Adamová, the heads of the Czech Parliament. The president also expected to witness the signing of a joint communique establishing labor consultation mechanisms to ensure the safety and protection of Filipino workers. The president's visit to the Czech Republic is through the invitation of Pavel, in line with the commemoration of the 50th bilateral ties between the Philippines and Czech Republic. Before leaving Berlin, President Marcos cited the productive outcome of his three-day working visit to Germany. The president said he is expecting good results from Federal Chancellor Olaf Scholz as he seeks to secure peace in Eastern Europe and stability in the South China Sea in light of his upcoming visit to Russia and China. He also welcomed the intentions of several top officials of German corporations to continue investing in the Philippines. He cited the economic and political impacts of his visit to Berlin as well as its importance to the country's regional competitiveness and economic transformation. On the sidelines of his visit in Germany, President Marcos secured the commitment of wind and solar power developer WPD GMBH to invest about 392.4 billion pesos for the renewable energy sector in the Philippines. The president met with the German firm's officials led by Chief Finance Officer Bjorn Nullmeier, during which they expressed interest in establishing offshore wind farms in Cavite, Negros Occidental, and Guimaras. They also discussed the status updates of offshore wind projects in Cavite and Negros, as well as other solar and wind projects in Aklan, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Abra, Iloilo, Bulacan, Mindoro, and Antique. Marcos expressed optimism that the German firm would help improve renewable energy in the Philippines. Meanwhile, Marcos Jr. dismissed former President Rodrigo Duterte's accusations that his foreign trips are merely for pasyal or sightseeing. Marcos cited his compressed schedule in Germany consisting of official functions, such as meetings with his counterparts and foreign business leaders. During his working visit, Marcos said he secured at least $4 billion worth of investment deals. Data from the Department of Trade and Investments showed that Marcos' foreign trips have resulted in $72.2 billion worth of investments, comprising 148 projects as of December 2023. Despite Duterte's tirades, Marcos clarified he does not have any issues with his predecessor. For Pna Headlines, I am Marita Muaje.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has reiterated the Philippines' commitment to defending its maritime domain amid China's ongoing incursions in the West Philippine Sea. In a media interview in Berlin, Germany, the president said there is nothing new with the Chinese President Xi Jinping's recent call on China's armed forces to coordinate for possible military conflicts at sea, as it has been China's ongoing policy for the past 2 to 3 years. Following this statement, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo confirmed an upcoming meeting between Marcos and United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken to discuss cooperation and security matters. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz reassured Marcos of Germany's support and commitment to increasing maritime cooperation with the Philippines. During a bilateral meeting, Scholz emphasized adherence to international maritime law, including the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and the Permanent Court of Arbitration's ruling on the South China Sea. He also pledged continued assistance in capacity building for the Philippine Coast Guard and the armed forces of the Philippines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has strongly criticized the involvement of the International Criminal Court in the country's legal system, asserting that the Philippines has a functioning judiciary. In a statement, Communications Secretary Cheloy Garafil said the president reiterated his stance in a bilateral meeting with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz in Berlin, Germany. He said the ICC has no jurisdiction over the Philippines, adding that its apparent intrusion into the Philippine judicial system is unacceptable. Marcos said the ICC cannot investigate the drug campaign under the Duterte administration because the country is capable of conducting its own probe. He also reaffirmed the Philippines' commitment to upholding the rule of law with its capable military and police forces. The Philippines formally withdrew from the ICC in 2019, a year after the country formally notified the United Nations of its withdrawal from the Rome Statute, which created the International Court. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said her mother, former First Lady Amalda Marcos, is set to be discharged from the hospital today. The president said that her mother's condition has improved and that she is now feeling better. He said that the former First Lady remained in the hospital until she finished her prescribed course of antibiotics. Marcos said he is looking forward to seeing his mother back on her feet and out of the hospital soon. The 94-year-old former First Lady was hospitalized due to suspected pneumonia. The two remaining Filipino seafarers who suffered serious injuries after their vessel MV True Confidence was hit by a Houthi missile while traversing the Gulf of Aden on March 6 are back in the country. In advisory, the Department of Migrant Workers announced that the two Filipino crew members arrived in the Philippines at 6:45 this morning via a chartered medical evacuation flight from Djibouti in East Africa. They have been cleared fit to travel and were welcomed by a medical team upon their arrival and taken to a hospital where they will continue their recovery. The DMW said they have also been reunited with their families in the hospital. Meanwhile, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration said they are now preparing assistance and other benefit packages to be given to the seafarers and their families. Yemen's Houthi rebels targeted MV Confidence with an anti-ship missile in the Gulf of Aden. 3 crew members died, including 2 Filipinos and 1 Vietnamese, while 3 Filipinos suffered injuries. On Tuesday, 11 crew members who suffered the attack arrived at the Naiya Terminal 3. The DMW said that the seafarers and their families requested for privacy at this time. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA Headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account via the News and Information Bureau website, nib.gov.ph under PNA News, or on the Facebook page of the Presidential Communications Office or PCO. I am Wilnard Basilonia, and this is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.